Welcome to Oily Temple and Healing Arts. My name is Sabina. I wanted to share a little bit about our practice and what can you expect when visiting with us. So I am a Reiki practitioner and teacher. I finished my first level of Reiki in 2015 and my master's in 2019. And since then, since the beginning, I've been practicing Reiki, and it's my daily lifestyle, I would say. And I just share it with others because it really brings in a huge change. For all of my life, I've always been looking for that peace, that peace that I knew was there but couldn't really find within myself. And practice of Reiki really helped me move towards that feeling and understand myself so fully and so deeply that it really made me realize that we are just amazing beings and we have all these gifts and such, and that practice really helps one see it. So that's what I share. So how a session could look like, there's a couple of sessions that I do. If someone isn't really familiar and with the Reiki or doesn't really like to lay down for a long time, I recommend a half an hour session where you lay on a bed and I do my work, which incorporates just working on those channels, energetical channels, by enhancing them, by helping that energy move through your body freely, because our thoughts and our beliefs or our just negative ideas about ourselves do tend to create blockages. So my job is to find those, see those, share them with you, if you want to or not, and help those energetical blockages be dissolved and moved. And so that's the work, and a lot of information comes with it. I'll show that a little bit later. But yeah, you lay on the bed, we do the work, and then the next half an hour, we talk about it. You talk about your experience, I talk about my experience, and I can also write down a report that will have you have all that information that we talked about. So it's like a future reference for your healing, so you remember what's in there, and then you can go back in there also, because sometimes in the future things change and you're like, oh my god, yeah, this is what we were talking about, or this is what I felt. You get confirmation. Another session for those who work, do inner work and want to dive deep and just have things in mind that they do really want to work on. We do an hour on the bed, and then half an hour to a little bit longer, depends on how much information is gathered. Then again, we talk about it. We write, and I write the report. I send it through a PDF file, so it's also online. You can print it out. It's for your reference. And so what might you find on the report? And obviously everybody's different and every session is very different. And in the beginning of the session, we do set an intention, which helps the energy focus on where the session's going. But spirit really knows what we need. So at the end, we will find the information that's gathered and needed for us. So we do a prayer by inviting in our guides, my guides. I'm asking to be a clear channel for that session. And then, you're on the bed for half an hour. So in the report, I will write down my experiences, which might be anything that I physically feel in the body. I will put on there, and I will also put it in the spot that was felt, or around the chakras that were tied into a feeling or a physical aspect. Sometimes stories come in, stories from the past. So I write those down there. There's messages from our guides. Sometimes, our guides come in, animal spirit guides or ascended masters. They do come in and they bring in messages. They show things. So I do put that on there. And then if I feel something within the chakras, sometimes symbols come in. Sometimes we see the gifts that we have that were, that are shown. That's something from the past, something from our lineage that's in our bloodline comes up, and that's just an amazing information. I really like to focus on those positive and good things because that's what helped me heal. I was a person who was very sensitive to the negative part of life, so I was on the move of releasing anything that's negative around me and also anything that's negative about me. And I focus on those positive aspects. And through Reiki, I was able to do that. It's a great way, to communicate with your higher self and to receive messages that we can't really do on a daily basis because there's just too much stimuli around us, too much information, too much worry, too much happening in our head. My ultimate goal is to help others do what I do, not in the sense of being a Reiki practitioner, but being able to communicate with self and bring that information or understand that information on our own, because that's where we're going, and everybody has those gifts. Everybody can do this. So that's what I bring, and I bring the information that's about you. So let's say you know what your totem is, or what's the connection to a certain star system that you have, or anything that comes up, and that helps you, take your focus from the everyday worries and all the stuff that's happening around us, and bring that focus within, where you really start focusing on yourself and start discovering who you are, and start liking yourself and accepting and understanding, why this makes me feel this way. For instance, there's people who are afraid of water, but in this lifetime they never really had any experiences with the water. So it's good to understand where these fears are coming from, and once we let them go, we really start realizing who we truly are inside. So as I said on the report, I write all these things down. What else? And obviously, some people do want the report, some people don't want the report. There's also, I wrote a book on emotional healing, and I'm a huge practitioner of essential oils, and that really also helped me bring my emotions to a peaceful state. Plants really beautifully communicate with us. I talk about that in the book because they are that spirit as we are. There's this communication between us that is like no other. It's pretty fascinating. And then I talk about certain things like, judgment, being your own judgment, and why we need to release that, or about what we put in our body, or just there's just so much. But I talk about it in the book, and it's all about my emotional journey and how I awakened through releasing all that emotional stuff. And I had a lot of emotional just uneasiness going as a child, and I did not understand really who I was, or where I was, and why I was feeling all this stuff. And that's a part of being an empath. So through these sessions, we really learn that we are empathetic. We feel others, we sense things, and I help people see what that is and what the gift is. So if you are very empathetic and you feel things more than others, so I point those things out. It really helps us just be here and accept being here and wanting to be here. So that's another thing. Then also with my sessions, I have all these sacred tools that I use. I have feathers. I do have tuning forks. I use drums. If I am called for, I will do some singing and some rattle with crystal quartz activations in there. So it really depends who everybody, where you are to receive whatever it is. I call those activations like a little attunements to the parts of yourself. So that's what I do. Yeah, and then my husband also practices here with me. He does numerology. He is able to read from the palm. He's able to read from the eye. He has all these amazing gifts going. He's really good at looking at the life path of a person, and he's able to connect with the Akash through that as well. So he has sessions, and this is all work. We can do that in person, but we're also able to do that through online, because it's energy. We can do that work on a distance level, and obviously it might feel a little bit different because it's always better to be in the energy of the place that the work is being done but if it has to be a distant one, and if it's more comfortable, sometimes people just prefer staying in their own space. So that's why we do that too. Just wanted to add, almost done here, but wanted to add that one of my favorite sessions are sessions between parents and the children. So I do work with children, and it's kind of more like reading their energetical field. So the parents can be more familiar with what the child is feeling, what the child is going through, what experiences they might have that impacted them emotionally. I've been doing this work with my children, and it really, really incredibly helped me understand their needs and understand their wounds and pains. So when I talk with them, when I give them advice, I'm just guided. I know what to avoid, what to say, and just help them feel encouraged, because children are not always able to really tell us how they feel, and not even adults are able to tell us what they feel, but those things that are hidden in our aura and our energetical field are really helping us connect to that part of ourselves. So that's what I wanted to share today. If you're interested in a session, or if you have any more questions, please feel free to write to me or give me a call. Below the video, I will provide for all the links to all the channels and medias that I use. I forgot to add one thing. I also, throughout the session, am able to do I call it energy signature paintings. So if you're interested in an artwork that will show you your energetical gifts and abilities, and that feeling of who you are deep down underneath it all, I'm also able to do that. So if you have any questions, please contact us, and you enjoy your amazing day. Thank you for watching.